Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast, brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVRealtor.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for joining us. You're listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday. Merry Christmas, and how you doing, Heidi?
Merry Christmas. I'm doing great, John.
Christmas will be here this Friday. Can you believe that?
No, I can't, honestly.
You know, I'm getting ready to go shopping for you one of these days.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think
do that this
year.
year.
To start one of these days. Hey, got a special guest coming up. For those of you who are kind of stressed out, if you got a bunch of holiday stress or even just regular stress that you have all the time, be listening later in the program. I'm going to be visiting with Vicki Morris. Going to be talking about some happy habits that you can do to help declutter your stressful day and help make your life a little better to live. How's that sound?
That's nice.
So we got that going for you. It's coming up later in the program. Also, take a listen to this. 62% of teens surveyed said they want a smartphone for Christmas. The other 38% want world peace, I think. I'm not sure.
I'm sure.
62% said, I want a smartphone. Our daughter wanted a smartphone. We got her a smartphone, and she dropped it 2 days later.
Yeah.
So now she's got a cracked smartphone. Coming up, there's a lot of stuff to celebrate today. We'll tell you what's going on in a bit.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Get razors for $1 a month plus a few bucks shipping, so you can enjoy fresh razors every month for as little as $3. Learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Thought you'd never ask. It's Monday, December the 21st. Today is Yule and Yalda. I don't know what those things are. It's also Celebrate Short Fiction Day.
Yeah.
National Flashlight Day, Forefathers Day, Humbug Day, Crossword Puzzle Day, International Dale K. Remembrance Day, or Dalek. International Dalek Remembrance Day, probably. Sorry. Or remember Dale K as well. National Homeless Persons Remembrance Day, Phileas Fogg Wins a Wager Day, Short Girl Appreciation Day, World Peace Day, Anne and Samantha Day, and Winter Solstice. Hot diggity. There's a lot of
weird stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on today. I am not going to celebrate Humbug Day, but I think I'll do a crossword puzzle. I haven't done one of those in a long time.
I like crossword puzzles.
Get out there and do that. And Short Girl Appreciation Day. You're not extremely tall, so I'm going to hang out with you today.
I'm not short.
Well, you're not short, but you're shorter than me, so celebrating with you today. Get out there and celebrate on this, the 21st day of December.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you want to buy or sell an RV, go to RVRealtor.com. List your RV for free. Learn more at RVRealtor.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. You know, the old children's game, excellent for long car trips, where you think of a name and a place and an item for sale beginning with the same letter. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Well, I'll give you the example. P. My name is Paul. I come from Poughkeepsie, and I sell potatoes. You ever played this game?
No.
You never played this game?
So
I thought everybody
stupid.
played this game. No, this is a game.
No, in our car, we played the game where Dad would tell the car, everybody be quiet. You can talk when you're away from me.
Not a peep out of you.
No radio, no noise, no talking,
Did
no
you
laughing.
play the alphabet game where you have to find, okay, there's A on that side,
Not
there's
until
A
I
and a
married
B.
you.
I played that game all the time. But this game here is another game. This is where you P, my name is Paul, I'm from Poughkeepsie, I sell potatoes. Turns out there may be more to it than we thought. People like their names so much they unconsciously opt for the last thing that begins with their initials. So what they call moniker maladies. A pair of researchers find most students want A's, but those whose names begin with C or D have a lower grade point average than students whose names begin with A and B. So if you want to have a smart kid, name them something like Alan or Andy.
That is the most ridiculous
Abraham.
thing I have ever
I'm just
heard.
saying. So not so good for our daughter Frida. Just kidding. We don't have a daughter Frida. If we did, she'd be getting an F, apparently, according to this. So that's what they're saying. This is a study that's been done. Kids who have a name that start with A or B tend to get A's and B's. Kids who have names that start with C or D tend to get C's or D's. Heidi, your name starts with an H. F is pretty close to H. You think?
What are you saying?
How many F's did you get?
I didn't.
You didn't get any Fs?
I did not get Fs.
You just skipped school?
I did not get Fs. I put in like zero effort, but still managed to pass with all C's.
They're like, just get her through, please. I don't want her
Yeah,
next year.
I really didn't struggle.
They're saying
if I would have put in effort, if I would have tried, if I would have gone every day and not drank at lunch.
You got the same kind of grades as other kids, and you only put in half as much.
Yes, if I would have put in effort, I would have been a straight A student.
Probably.
Who
But
knows
the good
where
news
I
is,
could have gone? And
I'm
then
glad
I
you
probably
didn't.
would have been too good for you.
I know. I'm glad you didn't, because I would have never been able to marry you then. So I'm glad that you settled for the lowly John. All right. Anyway, this whole name nonsense, it's true because you heard it on the radio.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again?
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. A Kansas man got a wire coat hanger stuck in his throat.
Whoa.
That's where this thing starts, but it keeps on going. What in the earth was he doing with a hanger in his throat? Good question. The answer is even more bizarre. Coat hanger was stuck in his throat because he was trying to get a balloon out that he swallowed.
I think we read this.
He swallowed the balloon filled with cocaine.
Yeah, I think we read this.
Yeah, his excuse was he wanted to put the balloon in his drink at a party. He accidentally swallowed it. That's what he said when he was in there trying to get this thing removed. Anyway, turns out what he was doing is smuggling this, put it in an old balloon. It says like an old inner tube, something like that. Anyway, he needed emergency surgery to remove both the hanger that was still stuck in his throat when he came in and the balloon. Police say he could face possession charges. So there you go. They don't believe him on the whole story that, this balloon, somebody put it in my drink and I swallowed it. Really? You swallowed a giant balloon full of cocaine?
I don't think so.
Didn't even notice that was in there, officer. Sorry. Coming up, we've got your moment of duh. That's on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Keystone Treatment Center. Addiction is no laughing matter. Call Keystone Treatment Center toll-free at 1-844-204-1055.
And a 14-year-old boy from Connecticut is our moment of duh today. He was doing a little tree climbing. When you were a kid, did you climb trees?
Not really.
I did. When I was a kid, I maybe that's more of a boy thing. I don't know. I did. My brothers did. My sisters didn't so much, so maybe it is. Anyway, 14-year-old boy from Connecticut climbed a rope tied to a tree branch 25 feet from the ground, lost his grip, fell, and became injured. Now his family is suing who? The town.
Whatever.
Because they should have known that their son was going to do this, therefore they should have cut down the branch ahead of time. So there you go. They're suing the town.
People
because he climbed up in the air, fell out of a tree, and got hurt. You should have cut that branch off because it's too tempting for kids. Like my dumb kid that climbed up and fell down and got hurt.
Whatever happened to
Take some
personal
responsibility. I know. It's sad that kind of thing happens, but it does. There you go. That happened in Connecticut. A 14-year-old fell, got hurt, got a boo-boo. Now they're suing the town. Coming up, we got your scoop of the day. That is on the way.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now your scoop of the day. From Germany, there's an unidentified man that's wanted by the cops. Guess why?
Why?
He's been robbing people. He's been a whole string of burglaries. Officers came to his house to arrest him, and he bolted out the back door and hid in his neighbor's garden. Unfortunately for him, he left behind his bull terrier. When the cops let the dog out, he ran right to the garden, wagging his tail where his owner happened to be, and they found him pretty darn easily. So, yeah, that was not so smart. A newlywed doctor's homegrown... I'm sorry, let me try that again. I should put these on. Got my glasses sitting here like a schmuck.
Hey,
look at that. Glasses. A newlywed doctor's honeymoon became even more memorable when she delivered a baby on an airplane. Dr. Angelica Zen, a UCLA physician, was traveling back from her honeymoon in Taiwan, and somebody went into labor over the Pacific Ocean. Resident doctor had to think fast, performing her very first unassisted delivery of a baby as the plane was diverted to Alaska. The mother and her newborn daughter were rushed to the hospital there. So that's kind of cool. How was your honeymoon? Awesome. On the way home, I delivered a baby on an airplane. So how neat is that?
Cool beans.
At least it wasn't her baby that she had to deliver herself. That'd be really bad. A man in Idaho is going to jail. Guess why?
Why?
He got a bad haircut. Well, there's more to it than that.
I was going to say.
He got a bad haircut. He was so upset about his bad haircut, he jumped in his truck and rammed his truck into the hair salon.
Whoa.
And now he's going to jail.
Yeah,
Does that make
rightfully
more sense
so.
now? Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, probably.
Might have been a bit of an overreaction.
I think so.
Hair grows back, dude. Calm down.
The 2015 Sports Person of the Year from Sports Illustrated was Serena Williams, and many horse racing fans are upset because they thought it should have gone to American Pharoah, the horse that became the first animal in 37 years to win the Triple Crown.
Yeah, I agree
But how
with
could
that.
you have a Person of the Year be a horse?
Well, why not? We had a Woman of the Year be a man.
A Man of the Year be a woman? And
No, the Woman of the Year was a
know.
man.
I get so confused on everything that's going on today. Can we
So
just go back to when I
absolutely
was
the
a
Person
kid?
of the Year could be a horse.
Well,
We've already set the precedent.
Serena Williams is the Sports Person of the Year for Sports Illustrated, and it was not the horse American Pharoah. That, I think they should have the Horse of the Year. How's that sound? All right. People unwilling to quit smoking to improve their
And
own
wasn't
health.
the Dog of the Year a cat?
I think so.
See?
It's bizarro world. I don't know what's going on. People unwilling to quit smoking to improve their own health may consider giving up smokes for somebody else. Their pets. Yeah. A new survey says 28% of pet owners who smoke said they would try to quit based on the knowledge that their secondhand smoke is harming their puppies or their kitties or their fish or whatever they have. Another 11% said they would actually think about quitting. 28% said if they knew that it was harmful, they would quit. And 11% said, I didn't know that. I'm actually thinking of quitting now. So there's 11% that didn't realize secondhand smoke was bad for pets. They're like, it's bad for people, but I'm sure it's fine for pets.
I smoke mine outside. My
Doesn't say anything on the pack at all about harmful to my pets. All right. Blame the potato chips. It's the biggest demon behind that pound-a-year weight creep that plagues many of us. Did you know that? Mm-mm. Major diet study found bigger than soda, candy, and ice cream. The big old thing is nobody can eat just one, and it's true. They're tasty, they're salty, they're delicious. The texture is awesome. People generally don't even realize how bad they are for you, according to the study. Obesity expert Dr. F. Xavier Pai Sr., I don't know if I got any of that right. He's from St. Luke's Roosevelt Hospital Center in New York. Says even more evil than potato chips, French fries.
Yeah, see, that's my problem is French fries.
All this study, this fun hater study was done by Harvard University scientists about long-term weight gain. And they say French fries and potato chips, they'll get you every time.
Yeah, French fries for me. I hardly ever eat potato chips, but I do love French fries.
I do too. Let's wrap things up with our strange law. From Alabama, it is illegal for a driver to be blindfolded while operating a vehicle.
Well, that's
That
probably
is
a good
the
law.
in Alabama. It's
That's
just
a good law.
common sense everywhere else. That is a strange thing to have on the books, but there it is. Strange law. This has been your Scoop of the Day.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RoughToughKennels.com. Dog kennels and accessories sent to your front door wherever you live. Your dog deserves it. Learn more at RoughToughKennels.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on this Monday. I've got a special guest joining us as we're getting closer to the holidays. It's beginning to look a lot like stress time. I've actually got somebody that's going to help us with some holiday stress. Vicki Morris is a happiness coach, and she's got a new book called Happy Habits. Vicki, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm wonderful, John. How are you?
Very good. I'm super excited to chat with you. We're getting pretty darn close to Christmas, and it's kind of crunch time, and people are pretty stressed out this time of year. You've got some tips on things that we can do to maybe avoid some of this stress, don't you?
You know, I do. I found that stress is really an alert, that we need to shift to a more positive mindset. And the fastest and easiest way to do that is by adopting just a 1-minute happy habit.
Now, what kind of things can you do for that 1-minute happy habit?
Well, in my book, I have 40 different ways that you can raise your energy. It turns out if you can raise your energy, you can raise your happiness. They're correlated. And so, energy-raising activities are things like gratitude, exercise, laughing. Anything that can raise your energy is something that's going to basically help you shift to a more positive mindset and feel happier.
So think about something that makes you happy and do that for a minute?
That works.
So it's kind of like, I don't know if you remember the movie Happy Gilmore. It was like saying, go to your happy place. So that's kind of what you're doing.
Right. It's really about shifting the mindset because, during the holidays, about 70% of us are really stressed. and it's because of the lack of the time and the pressure and all the things going on. And so really it's about sort of stopping, using that as an alert system. It's a good idea just to breathe, relax, and just take a minute to recenter. And when you recenter, you're shifting to a positive mindset where you're being really more loving to yourself and others. And when you make that just 1 minute little intervention, that kind of shift to a tiny, faster, positive place, then that's just going to carry with you throughout your entire day. And that's why it works so successfully.
Visiting with Vicki Morris, author of the book Happy Habits, online at thehappyhabitsbook.com. Now, in here you talk about something called a 4-minute method or a 4-minute solution. Let's talk about that. What is the 4-minute method to reducing stress and increasing happiness?
Well, I worked with Dr. B.J. Fogg from Stanford University, and the research shows that all you need is 1 minute to basically transform your mindset and feel happier. And so we work together to basically come up with a formula, whereas whenever you're feeling stressed, or just, different times, like, for example, you want to get your day off to a good start, like when you turn on the computer in the morning, you just choose that as a time to basically do this little happy habit for 1 minute. You do that 3 times during the day, so you've taken 3 minutes of your day, and then at the end of the day, you record your success at tinyhabits.com.
So this is a way to not just do it one time throughout the day, do it a couple of times throughout the day, and then record that. And do people see an increase in happiness by doing this typically?
98% of people are finding success with this program. What works for me is, the fact that it's really 1 minute. It's not just, the type of habit that you do, which is something that raises your energy and it's good for your mind, body, and soul. But it's really something, the fact that it's so short and easy. I do happy habits, for example, when I brush my teeth, or just any time that basically I'm making a transition in my day. For example, like when I turn on the computer, or, for example, when I get up in the morning. They're just really easy times to remember to basically stop and do a happy habit.
So let's talk about happy habits. What is an example of something, like when you're brushing your teeth, what's a happy habit you do then?
Well, I love to focus on gratitude in the morning because it's a very quick and easy way to shift to a more positive mindset. So research shows that the most effective way to do gratitude is to think about 3 things you're happy for right now and why you're happy for them. And by doing that, if you're focusing on your happiness, which is always found inside of you and in the present moment. And so by thinking about what you're grateful for right now, it basically helps you get to a happier place.
That's a cool idea. And what else would you be doing while you're brushing your teeth? Just staring at yourself in the mirror, seeing how silly you look brushing your teeth? Do something positive during that time, right?
Exactly. Obviously brushing your teeth is something we all have to do every day. But, you think about it this way. It's really something you're only really doing, for yourself physically. Why not do something for yourself, emotionally as well? If you're anything like me in the past, a lot of times I'm sitting there thinking about all the things I got to do, which just makes me feel more overwhelmed and stressed. So by making this kind of shift, you're basically, helping yourself be happier. And the great thing is it's contagious. So if you feel happier, others will feel happier around you too.
And I like that you were saying, like when you're turning on your computer, you're waiting for that to boot up. When I turn my computer off, it takes a while to turn it off. So usually while I'm turning it off, I'm over here getting frustrated. But this would be a good time for me to think about something happy and use one of my happy minutes during the day.
It's a great idea. And again, you can basically start your week off learning what works for you. If it's better to basically do things at scheduled times, then do it that way. Or if you'd rather do it when you're just feeling stressed, so that you can bring some more mindfulness and, kind of peace into that particular moment, that's fine too. Find what works for you and just record it at tinyhabits.com.
Awesome. Again, we've been visiting with Vicki Morris, career happiness coach, also the author of a new acclaimed book, Happy Habits. We've got the website, thehappyhabitsbook.com. Are there other places we can buy the book as well?
Well, the book is now available in audio on audible.com, and it'll be in iTunes this weekend. It's also available on Barnes & Noble and Amazon. So whatever flavor people like, it makes a good stocking stuffer, and just really happy that people are enjoying the book and hope it relieves some holiday stress.
Well, thank you for doing what you're doing, Vicki. What a great idea to spread happiness and joy. That's a really cool thing.
Well, thank you. And can I offer your listeners an opportunity to get the book for free?
Well, that would be awesome. That's a way to spread some happiness. How can we do that?
So if people go to thehappyhabitsbook.com and they're one of the first 5 people to register, then they'll get an autographed copy of the book, a physical copy of the book that I'll mail to them. And hopefully we can get it to you before Christmas.
Very nice. And again, the website is thehappyhabitsbook.com. When I go there, where do I go to sign up for that?
In the top right-hand corner, there's a place that says register to win. The first 5 people who register for the program after listening to John today, then you'll definitely be getting the book directly from me.
All right, we're going to send them there. Thank you so much for chatting with us today.
Thank you so much, and I hope everyone has a very happy Habits Day.
Yes, and have a Merry Christmas. Thank you so much. Again, Vicki Morris, the website is thehappyhabitsbook.com. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by carsforsale.com. If you're in the market to buy a car, truck, or van, find thousands of vehicles to choose from at carsforsale.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
According to a study, December is a particularly deadly month for heart attacks.
Oh.
That's not such a fun fact after all, but it is a fact. It's because people are shoveling snow, because people are getting stressed out about the holidays, so they're saying, hey, take a chill pill, calm down, it's going to be okay. We want you to be here in January too, right?
That's right.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Stacy Moore is in a bit of agony over her license plates. Stacy is what she had on her license plates. The Nevada Department of Motor Vehicles demanded that she return the personalized plates. It violates prohibition against drug references, but Stacy says Stacy is simply a play on her name, so she's appealing, but it also spells out what people think is ecstasy.
Oh.
Yeah. She just has Stacy. So why couldn't she just get Stacy X maybe? I don't know. For whatever reason, she wanted to be Stacy.
I see. All right, whatever.
And, yeah, she's going to fight it. There you go. I'm not sure that was necessarily a fun fact. I'm not sure how that got there. Anyway, coming up, top 5 pet-friendly hotels. We're going to tell you all about them in a bit.
This portion of the program is brought to you by StoneGroupArchitects.com. It's more than a building. It's design and function working together. Check out the project portfolio at StoneGroupArchitects.com.
We have a couple of puppy dogs that we absolutely love.
We
and
do.
When we travel, we don't necessarily take them with because we've got a place that boards them. I think they have more fun when we're gone than they do when we're home.
Oh, yeah.
They
Tom
love
Gunlick's
He is
takes
such an awesome
great
guy.
care of our puppies.
Well, traveling on the road this Christmas and you're taking your pet with you, maybe you should check into one of these hotels, the places where Fido and Fluffy will stay with you. Petside.com has named the James Hotel of Chicago the #1 hotel destination when traveling with pets. So that would kind of only work if you're going to be going to Chicago, wouldn't it? The Windy City Luxury Hotel offers a host of amenities for pet owners, Heidi.
Okay.
And for their furry friends, ranging from a spa service to a gourmet pet menu from David Burke's Prime House restaurant to in-room training sessions with award-winning animal behavioralists. 4 other hotels across the country made the list as well. So if you're not going to make it to the James Hotel in Chicago, there's some others around the country. Number 5 on the list, the Hyatt Regency Century Plaza in L.A., Number 4 is the Bowens by the Bay in Hamptons, New York. Number 3, the Hotel Monaco of Denver, Colorado. Number 2, the W Tuscany in New York, New York. And again, the number 1 on the list, the James Hotel of Chicago, Illinois. Now, would you go out of your way to stay at a place that had that kind of stuff for our dogs, or would you say no?
Well, I like to stay in nice hotels, and typically the hotels that allow you to bring your dogs are not.
You don't think those places would be nice?
So I'm saying I would probably go out of my way to
just say-
have those amenities, knowing I would be in a nice hotel.
Yeah, I'm
So,
pretty sure.
I'm not
If
going to
they-
because usually I'm not even going to say any chain names.
I know what you're
But
thinking.
usually the ones that you stay in that will let you bring your dogs, they're not
They're not the
good.
best.
Yeah, but
Well,
I think I personally probably would go out of my way to if
there
I
you
had
go.
to travel with my dogs to be able to stay in a nicer place.
I think it sounds great. Now you know. Coming up, we're going to talk about computer fungus. That's on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
You've heard of computer viruses, right?
Yes.
Have you ever heard of a computer fungus?
No.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's something that's eating away at our compact discs. It's possible now that we have another intruder among our high technology that we need to guard against. First, it was computer viruses. There's still a problem, too. Now we have to worry about disk fungus.
Huh.
I know it sounds like something you'd hear from some, fake news source or something, but it's a real thing. Scientist Victor Cardenas discovered a fungus a few years ago when his friends in Central America told him about how their compact discs quit working. They had to develop an almost transparent look in some places. When they were looking at it, they could see through it. Apparently, the CD fungus was eating through the supposedly indestructible CD. It had burrowed into the CD from the outer edge, then devoured the thin aluminum layer, and some of the data storing resin that's in there was gone. They say it's completely destroying the aluminum. It leaves nothing behind. They have never seen a fungus like this, and it's something that is kind of common to this species
not
only.
Here, though.
No, but they're saying that this is something that's happening. So don't just save things on a CD. You might want to back them up in the cloud or something as well now. And then we'll find out there's a cloud fungus. I have no idea. If it's something important, print it out and stuff it under your mattress. Maybe that's bad, too. I don't know. I am at a loss. But I can tell you this. I got a very cool story to share. It's on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by GunUp.com. If you're a gun lover, you'll be in heaven at GunUp.com. Built by experienced military veterans, shooting sports competitors, and publishing professionals. They have awesome stories and articles that are read by millions of gun enthusiasts. Check it out at GunUp.com.
Heidi, are you ready for a very cool story?
Oh, yes. I can't wait to hear this pun on words.
Well, a child has been found 3 days after being lost in a mother bear's den. Yeah. A mother bear appears to have cared for a missing 16-month-old Iranian toddler.
Wow.
Found safe and sound 3 days later in the animal's den. The child's parents from a nomadic tribe returned to their tent after working in the fields to find their child missing. 3 days later, a search party found the baby, who they said had probably been breastfed by the mother bear in the den 6 miles from where the nomadic settlers were staying. Medical examination showed the baby was in good health. So there you go.
So they left for the whole day and went working in the fields, and nobody was watching after their baby?
Yeah, 16-month-old Iranian.
Wow.
Well, by that point, they're kind of on their own. I'm just kidding. I have no idea. I just think that's crazy that this is a true story. A very, very cool story.
Crazy.
All right, coming up, the promotion that backfired. We're going to tell you all about this on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1, plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
We've had promotions and we've done things that didn't necessarily work out exactly the way we planned, right?
Right.
But this promotion probably belongs in the Backfire Hall of Fame. The Umbria Italian restaurant in Scotland had what they thought was an ingenious idea to lure people in for dinner, Heidi.
Okay.
The restaurant owners created over 300 handwritten notes from a mysterious source inviting people to a secret romantic rendezvous at their restaurant.
Oh, boy.
They dropped the notes through the door of more than 300 homes reading, "Darling, missing you already. Could we get together soon at the new place in the village for lunch or dinner?
Oh, boy.
Love you, XXX. Do not tell you-know-who." And boy, did people respond, but not the way they were hoping. The Umbria Italian restaurant was inundated with phone calls from suspicious wives or suspicious husbands. In fact, one married man was actually having an affair, and he said he's considering suing the restaurant for inadvertently exposing his adulterous relationship.
Oh, my gosh.
So what were they thinking?
That was a bad idea all the way around.
Yeah,
If you had come up with that harebrained scheme, I would have been like, no. There's clearly nobody with common sense on their team.
This is one of those things where I understand what they're doing. They're saying, hey, we want to be known as like this new place to go for dates. So I think that the concept was good, but the problem was, who were they going to think this note was from?
Oh, my gosh.
They should have done it completely differently. I love the idea of the handwritten note, but don't make it from you-know-who. Don't tell you-know-who. That's what it was. And love you, XXX. They should have said, you know what? Let's go out on a date, or join us for a date.
Although, having said that, I am kind of glad the one dirtball's affair was unearthed. I think that serves him right.
Hey, boys, girls, don't cheat on people. Don't do that. Ladies, gentlemen, you should know better. Don't do that. So it is very sad that it sounds like it was a bad plan, period. But sad that restaurant's getting sued by the guy. Coming up, we do have some good news to share. That is on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV. Call 1-800-259-7646. They have hundreds of channels to choose from, with many packages to fit your viewing desires. Learn more at 1-800-259-7646.
Always try to end this program with some good news, Heidi.
Yes, we do.
And this, I think, is some kind of good news.
Good.
A Florida woman embraced the spirit of the season of giving and started a chain reaction of 250 people paying it forward. How cool is that?
That's awesome.
According to ABC News, Tori Kane of Lakeland, Florida, was paying for her meal at a local drive-thru restaurant Wednesday of last week. She told the cashier, hey, I want to pay for the meal for the car behind me. And the cashier told the next car, you've already been paid for, the lady in front of you. She said, hey, you know what? I want to do that too. I'll pay for the person behind me. It kept going and kept going and kept going for 250
I love that.
cars.
I love it when that happens. It's so much fun.
It is. We've done that before. It's really cool. And you know, we've paid for somebody's meal at a restaurant and then bolted to get out of there quick. So we're like, oh, we don't want them to know who it was.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun. And that's the best part. If they don't know who it is, that's even better. Just because, hey, you know what? We want to do something nice. This is a chain reaction of people paying it forward, unlike anything this restaurant had ever seen before. 250 people in a row saying, you know what? Keep it rolling. I want to pay for the next car. Keep it rolling. I wonder who the last one on the list was.
I wonder who the last jerk was that was like, I'm not doing that.
Yours already been paid for by the car in front of you.
Thanks.
Awesome.
See ya.
The person behind you ordered this. Yeah, they can pay for their own. So I see the guy behind me. He kind of looks like a jerk. No, he honked his horn at me on the way in here. I don't know exactly what happened, but it doesn't say it.
Maybe they were closed. Maybe he was the
That
last
could be.
order.
You know what? Let's pretend that's what it was, because I'd hate to think somebody out there would have stopped such a great thing. Anyway, I just thought that was a really good story. We've got Christmas coming up this week, and I know a lot of folks are going to be having altered schedules, but if you get a chance, come back and join us. We're going to have some fun stuff between now and then, and we really appreciate you joining us for the John and Heidi Show. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you again for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Time now for the bonus break, only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
And your bonus break is brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club. If you'd like to shave and get a nice, clean, smooth, silky shave for just $3 a month, all you got to do is check them out. DollarShaveClub.com/radio. They'll bring them right to you. It's awesome. This may come as no surprise to residents of New York City, but other big urban centers, it says, what? Okay, I got it. It says living there can be bad for your mental health.
In New York?
Yeah, or any big urban center.
Okay.
Researchers have found a possible reason why. I'm trying to make my print bigger here. There we go. Is that big enough?
Is that good, old man?
That's better.
Your granny print working for you?
Well, here's the weird thing. I think I need a new prescription.
Put on your glasses.
When I put them on, it's like I must be too far away from that, because then it's all weird from back here. So I think I either need to sit closer, because this works great if I have it printed out and it's right up close. That's awesome. But I'm trying not to waste paper. So I'm trying to keep my glasses off and read it from across the room. Just need to make Can we get a bigger monitor? Because I'm thinking if I get like a 60-inch monitor, I can make this print big enough I can read it.
Okay, so anyway, what makes it bad for your health?
Hey, let me try this again. It may come as no surprise to residents of New York City or other big urban centers. That's the part I messed up before. Living there could be bad for your mental health. Researchers have found a possible reason why, Heidi.
Okay, what is the reason?
Can I tell you the story?
Please tell me the story.
Imaging scans show that city dwellers, people who grew up in urban areas, certain areas of their brain react more vigorously to stress. Could explain how city life can boost the risk of schizophrenia and other mental disorders. Researchers say previous research found that growing up in a big city raised the risk of schizophrenia. There's some evidence that city dwellers are at a heightened risk for mood and anxiety disorders, although the evidence is mixed. In any case, volunteers scanned in the new study were healthy, and experts said that while the city and rural life differences in brain activity are intriguing, the results fall short of establishing a firm tie to mental illness. So they're saying, hey, there's some crazy folks in the country, too. I've met them. Trust me, they're right. I've just met more crazy folks from the big city. All right, from Durham, North Carolina, a 4-year-old boy quickly changed into his Power Rangers costume and attacked when his family was being held up at gunpoint by an armed robber.
Oh,
yeah, little Stevie Long snuck out of his bedroom while the robber was pointing the gun at his 5-year-old sister and his mother. Mother Mary and his sister was Mary and the mother was Jennifer. Minutes later, He jumped back in the room as the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, waving a plastic sword and said, "Get away from my family." Here's the best part, Heidi. It worked. The robber and his accomplice, who was waiting outside the apartment, took off running. They did take some credit cards and jewelry, but the cash... and some cash, but the relative said
nobody was hurt.
They abandoned plans to take Stevie's mother to an ATM. They were saying, "This is all you have. Let's go to an ATM." When they saw Stevie, they skedoodled.
Oh, how precious!
Stevie said, "I scared the bad guys away."
That's awesome.
On the other hand, Stevie's aunt, Heather Evans, said a counselor had suggested Stevie needs to improve his distinction between fantasy and reality. Quoting, "He fully believes he morphed into a Power Ranger."
It's precious. I think that's
it is
wonderful.
Too. I'm really glad.
I'm glad that they didn't get hurt.
I'm so glad that it ended the way that it ended, because that would have been awful if that kid would have been hurt. That would have been terrible. All right, we got room for a couple more. In Orlando, Florida, an 18-year-old John DeWitt was fleeing from a security guard at the Orlando Ale House after guards suspected he was about to burglarize the building. John's brief flight ended when he jumped into what he thought was a garbage can to hide. It wasn't a garbage can. It was a huge drum of discarded grease from the restaurant.
Ew, yuck.
Yeah, you ain't going nowhere now.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, that is disgusting. And a man in China thought he'd pull off the jewelry store heist of the century. In the middle of the day, the crook walked into a store, went behind the counter, and started dumping trays of diamonds into a bag. He was absolutely shocked when security personnel nabbed him. Why? Because minutes before, he drank some tea that he was told would make him invisible. Yeah.
You wouldn't think he'd glance in a mirror first before just going out and committing a crime?
Who is selling
Am I
tea
invisible?
Have you heard of this, the tea that makes you invisible?
No.
How did you know that?
I assumed, because he drank this tea, and I assumed that he didn't think he was going to get caught, that
Can't
he
catch
thought
me.
he was invisible.
Can't catch what you can't
That
see.
is hilarious.
Yeah, he got caught. So apparently the invisible tea doesn't work. For those of you who are listening right now, getting ready to pull off the heist of a century, keep in mind, stuff doesn't work, just so you know.
And if you did happen to get a batch that does, look in the mirror before you go off to commit the crime. Make
Mine's
sure you're
not
really
tea.
invisible.
My invisibility comes from cappuccino, so you guys are way off. All right. Thank you so much for listening. I am so excited for some of the stuff that I've already found that we're going to be talking about for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And we might even have some additional radio stations putting our show on for those days.
Nice.
I made it available. So I'm saying that because if you happen to be a radio station proprietor and you're looking for somebody to be on your radio station for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, free of charge, you can carry this wonderful program. No barter needed that day. Just our gift to you. It's our little lump of coal in your stocking for being such a darn good person. So anyway, it's better than a lump of coal, I hope. But if you'd like to put the program on, reach out to us. We'd love to have you on, even if it's just for those 2 days. But we'd love to have you on all the time. And for those of you who listen to the podcast and you'd like to listen to us on the radio, look and see. We might be on the radio in your area. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
They could listen to us with
Yes.
music in there, too?
Yes.
I mean, how amazing would that be? So learn more at johnandheidishow.com. Bonus break brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club. Learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.